So I just want to say to our audience, like, we're doing this pod because we want you to feel like you deserve a birthday party. You deserve gifts. You deserve cards. You deserve well wishes. You deserve friendship. That's all I want to say.
Well said. So did you throw him a birthday party?
No. Man of the year. Man of the year.
Welcome to the #1 friendship podcast in the country. I'm Aaron Karo.
I'm Matt Ritter, and I have to say I am very grateful for my friendship with you, especially today.
Oh, thank you.
You did something for me that may not seem like a big deal in the grand scheme of things, and I think this is a lesson for our listeners. You gave me a hot tip.
I don't even know what this could possibly be.
Well, you were at my favorite restaurant last week, and it's called Dan Tana's.
Is that your favorite restaurant?
In LA, yeah. And I like an old school restaurant. This is an old school Italian place with the red carpeting and the leather. And
I know why you like it. Because the only way to get seated is to grease.
Well, yeah, it helps to grease. I like a place where there's
Can you make reservations?
Yeah, you do make reservations.
But they don't honor them.
There's a host.
Yeah.
Who's got a good palm. Great palms.
Yeah.
Nice palm. You want to be in that palm.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the palm of his hand. You want to be in the palm of his hand. So you gave me a tip heard around the world. I mean, you told me that the legend himself, Dan Tana, was going to be there the night that I was there.
Yeah.
Which is amazing because, first of all, most people probably don't even know there's a real person named Dan Tana.
I didn't even know.
I had to look it up. I didn't know.
Yeah.
He's a 90-something-year-old. I think he's Yugoslavian or Croatian.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the owner anymore.
I don't think Yugoslavian
exists, but I think if you were born in Yugoslavia, you're still Yugoslavian.
Oh.
Right? You don't not become Yugoslavian if they don't exist anymore, do you?
That's interesting.
Good question.
What other place could we do an example?
All those Eastern European bloc countries that broke up, right? Like there's no Czechoslovakia. Right?
So what do you say if you were born?
We got to find that out. If we have any
Okay.
Eastern bloc listeners, tell us what you call yourself.
They'll get this in about 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. So, he founded this legendary place that is known for very famous super Hollywood superstars throughout the ages. Always go there. Great chicken parm. It's just a great environment. I take people there when they're in town or on birthdays or whatever. So my friend, who's a big law firm partner, I knew he would love this too.
Yeah.
So I was like, guys, I have something awesome for you. Because you know me, I'm a wannabe man about town.
Here's the thing though, my intel, like I knew a window.
Yes.
The waiter basically mentioned it. I go, garçon, come back. By the way, the waiters worked there for 52 years.
I love that about this place. It's all lifer.
Our entire life.
More than our lives, they've been there.
And I go, oh, my friend is going to love this. What time is he coming? He goes, I don't know, between 6 and 8. That's all information I gave.
So I came early for my res.
Yeah.
And so we sat down and I go, I heard Dan Tana's going to be here. And he goes, he is here. And I go, do you think it would be cool if I said hi and said thank you?
Yeah.
He goes, he would love that.
Oh,
yeah.
I would thought you were going to say the opposite.
I know. I thought he was going to be like, he doesn't really like to be bothered. By the way, he's sitting at a table in the dead center with all his family around him. So it wasn't like an easy approach.
Right.
And he's facing like, you can't see him. So his back. So I brought my buddy over and we went over and I'm like, oh, shit, all right. So I actually like tapped him on the shoulder. He's like a 9-year-old man.
You can kill him.
You got to get close into his ear. And you know me, I'm a close talker.
Yeah.
Got right in. I probably spit inside his ear. I was like, Mr. Tana, which is so funny.
Yeah.
I was like, I just want you to know, I've been living here for 13 years. This is my favorite restaurant. And like, he goes, let me get up. I'm like, no, you're the 90th. I go, please don't get up. And his whole family's like, no, he loves this. So he gets up. We start talking. He goes, you from New York? I go, actually, I am from New York.
Yeah.
I said, then my friend is here. He's a law firm partner. I took him here. He goes, New Yorkers love this place. It reminds them of New York. I'm like, that's right. It does remind us of New York. And it's just got that New Yorky feel anyway. So we get to talking and then he's like, you two brothers? And in front of his whole family, he's like, don't they look like brothers? And I go, actually, we're just Jews. And they all started laughing.
Yes.
They loved it. It was great. So I'm thankful to you.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm grateful that you did that, but I think it says something about you is that like, you know who these things would matter to. Like you knew that would matter to me.
Yeah, only person I told.
Right.
Yeah. And you know what I had to do was I was at a birthday dinner for one of my best friends, and I kind of just like started texting in the middle of the dinner because like I wanted to get it out, get that information out.
Yeah.
I think it was probably fine. You know, these days if you send a text or two.
Yeah.
But that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, which is communication. Communication between friends, the pitfalls, the ethical dilemmas, the frequency. And my first question to you is, are you a texter or a caller?
Well, you know that I'm all over you.
But you're on me like white on rice.
I know. I feel like, is this episode just about you just trying to hit session on me?
But I also often see you. Let me just back it up for a minute that I prefer to be on my computer. I text from my computer.
I know you're very anomalous for our audience. I think you have a very specialty way of doing everything. Most people don't have like a specialized version of communication. Like you're like the Stephen Hawking's, like you have your own device.
But you don't have, do you have iMessage on your computer?
I don't know.
No. So you don't text from your computer?
Never.
Don't you find it just so annoying to type a text on your phone?
I don't really think about it. Yeah. I don't think most people think this is a hardship.
It's not a hardship.
Yeah.
But do you call, you call me, but do you call friends? Because the other day, like I saw like we were recording and Jeremy just like called you.
I love chit chat.
You love the chit chat. I can't stand a chit chat.
Yeah. He and I, we have like we're like those old men who are like, I just called to say hi. I just want to shoot the breeze. I love shooting the breeze. You're not a breeze shooter. You're like, what do you need? I like shooting.
I'm a friend of utility.
Yeah.
I'm a friend of utility.
But he and I, we like to shoot the breeze. We're like two old men who like to shoot the breeze.
I really, really don't like shooting the breeze. But here's the thing, and I think we've talked about this before. You also call me while you're doing something else.
He hates it.
If you're taking a walk or driving and calling me while I'm working, well, then I have to stop doing work.
I love that you have figured out like a way to make this like, you're like, it's one-sided. You said to me, you're like, no. If you're in the car, I have to be in the car.
Yeah, exactly.
But how would I know where you are?
You don't. So
right. But how could I plan to be in the car when you're in the car?
Well, I mean, I think we were joking about that. But I'm saying like, my day if you want to shoot the breeze, my day has to grind to a halt.
Right. So you're saying if I am, well, no, because I think it was like, if I'm asking you for help on something, I can't be walking. Wasn't that it?
Right. Yes.
You were like, if I'm asking you for help on something, for ideating, for brainstorming, you demand that I'm chained to my computer.
Let me just clarify this. You're shooting the breeze while walking and calling me. I don't like that.
Right.
If you're calling to ask me for work questions, that I like being transactional, but you cannot be doing something else.
Can't be in the car.
No, you have to be, your work has to mimic my work.
You know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to call you from the car, but I'm going to pretend like I'm typing on a computer.
Or just bring the computer in the car.
No, I'm going to bring I'm going to bring a desktop keyboard and slam on it while I'm actually in my car.
So do you think our breeze shooting is because like we have sort of casual work from home? Like you shoot the breeze at people who work in an office?
No.
I
think breeze shooting is very much nature of our biz because it's creative biz.
I have about 4 friends who will call to shoot the breeze.
Too much. It's too much for you.
I'm busy. I mean, like 4 breeze shoots in a day, that's an hour.
Well, you don't have to pick up. Or you could be like, hey, I'm busy. But by the way, I also call my family. I call every single member of my family every day.
What?
Yeah.
You call your mom, your brother, and your sister every day?
Yes.
Every single day? You call them today?
Yes.
You already spoke to them?
I didn't get to talk to my brother or sister. They were both work, but I called them at 6. I try to catch them before their work day.
What could have possibly happened between yesterday and today?
I just call them to say hi.
I mean, that I respect and acknowledge.
Nothing. It's not a long convo.
God, you're such a fucking chatty Kathy.
Yeah, I'm a chatty Kathy. I love to chit chat.
All right. So how about this innovation, which I think I've implemented this.
Okay.
I've implemented this with Kojo, which are our friend Jordan, and it's changed our relationship. The voice memo. Just to be clear, this is like on iMessage. You can send a voice memo and they can listen to whatever. And you can respond with a text, you can respond with a voice memo, you can call.
I thought you invented it.
I think either my friend Lindsay or Katrina popularized it. game changer. You could just say what you want to say, and then I say it back.
I literally said to you in between breaks on shooting, I said, what's the deal with voice memos? I think I want to get into it.
Yeah, you should get into it.
I'm always like a little late to the curve. You're an early adopter.
Yeah.
I'm still like, oh, I think Twitter's going to be
Yeah,
big.
yeah. I think this guy Elon Musk is going to be big. So when I send a voice memo, you can keep it forever. But when you send me one, I can keep it forever. As we know, I delete my text at the end of every day.
Text zero, inbox zero,
yes, and
inbox 145,000.
Unfortunately, in my system, my texts are backed up on my computer, but voice memos don't get backed up. So I don't have voice memos.
I like the voice memos. I do find it easier because like in the car or wherever I am, if I can't actually read them, it's much easier. When I'm walking, it's easier too. I don't have to like look down on my phone.
Right. And
so I should start doing, you would prefer if I start versus texting, you want me to leave you voice memos?
The only downside is because I use my text as a like a to-do list, you can't really, can't see what you said. So you have to listen to the whole, and you can't fast forward a voice memo. So my friend Katrina, bless her, she goes to 2 to 3 minutes on the voice memo. I'm like, bro.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting a lot of long ones.
You getting into it.
I'm getting into it, but I'm getting long
from
ones from everybody. Everybody's into this now.
You're getting them incoming.
Yeah, I'm getting incoming.
But you haven't gone outgoing.
Well, because I'm a late adopter. I literally needed to talk to my consigliere about life here about should I get into it. I literally said, should I get into it?
Yeah.
It's in.
Yeah.
What is the appropriate limit? Let's set one for our listeners. What is the right time limit for appropriate voice memos these days?
So I think, voice memo etiquette is like a 30-second voice memo. I set my settings because if you have the settings wrong, they disappear. They listen to it once, and you can't get them back.
Right. For work stuff, you don't want that.
What do you mean?
I'm saying like you and I sometimes now are, it's like, I'm saying if it's like a script related thing,
right?
And you give me an idea, I don't want that to be deleted.
Exactly.
So are you setting? It's my setting.
It's your settings.
Right. Okay. So I have to make sure that I keep those.
Yes. And just generally, how often do you think you should be communicating with your friends?
I don't think there's any should. So, I mean, I like that we have our group Luger's chain that's ongoing. I like these ongoing text chains that you just choose to opt in at any given moment. I like text chains that you're not obligated to, like my coffee clutch thing. Nobody's ever obligated. It's like, if you can meet up, great. If you can't, if you're not responding is fine. That's like assume that you're busy, but you can be like, hey, I'm busy. I can't make it. I mean, it just depends on what the level of friendship is.
So it was an article in the New York Times.
Yes.
As I'm saying it, it reminds me of, it's called the 8-minute call, and it reminds me of 8-minute abs. No,
7 minute.
Yeah. So you want to summarize?
So basically, you want to catch up with people. You have things going on in your life. Some people are busier than others, but it has been agreed upon, scientifically proven that an 8-minute call, very healthy, very timely, and it's all beneficial for everybody. And you can get everything you really need to say to somebody in 8 minutes.
Not you.
Well, not me.
He's what the kids call verbose.
Don't try this 8-minute shit on me, Karo.
I'll be like, let's do 7-minute call.
I'll start my timer just to make sure you're not doing 8-minute on me.
So what are the mechanics? Because I think it says like you tell them up front, hey,
I've got 8 minutes.
I've got 8 minutes.
I do like that.
So I was just gonna say I love setting
a hard out.
Hard out.
Well,
I get offended when I get a hard out, but I freely give out a hard out.
We work in an industry where the meetings are set generally at like 30 minutes.
Even though no one fucking even shows up.
But everybody's always like, got a hard out.
Yeah.
Got a hard out.
There's nothing more insulting like when your agent calls you and goes, I got a hard out.
I got a hard out.
Work for me.
Yeah. He goes, they call you at 2:56. They go, I have a hard out at 3.
Oh, yeah. If you call me and you call me whatever, just say hello, and it's like 2:56, and I'm like, listen, I got a call in 4 minutes. Like, that's not offensive to you.
No, but if it's something that I need to talk to you longer about, I go, okay, I'll call you later. I think that's the way to handle it. I think you go, hey, if you want to practice the 8-minute thing, you just call people and say, hey, I have 8 minutes. And if they go, hey, well, actually I have a call in 5 minutes, whatever, you could be like, all right, let's table it. What if they're like, I only have 6?
You say 8. I've got 8. Oh, that's perfect.
I've got 6.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Karo would love that.
I love it.
I got 8. No, I got 6.
So one thing as a single guy living alone that I always think about is like, how long would it take for you not to hear from me before you thought something was wrong?
Because I hear from you so frequently, I'd say like 2 days.
I thought you were going to say like fucking
1
6
hour,
hours,
yeah.
2 days. If I didn't respond for you the rest of today, fine. It's whatever.
Yeah. No, I guess it would be 24 hours. If we okay, say we're here, say we leave here.
Yeah.
And I don't hear from you the rest of the day because I'm busy, it's Friday, whatever, we're out, fine.
Yeah.
But if I text you in the morning, you don't respond, okay. After maybe you're
Right.
like at a pub crawl, maybe you're CrossFit. If I don't hear from you by tomorrow, I'd say like 30 hours. You're dead.
Okay. And then
I'd say you're probably dead.
And what's the protocol then?
Well, this happened to our friend. This happened to Kojo.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We the whole gang all of a sudden started texting.
Right. But that was an extenuating circumstance because he was very drunk the night before. We thought maybe something happened. This would
just
be
not having anything happen.
Yeah.
The protocol would be check in with your other friends. Have you heard from Karo? Yeah. I now I feel bad that I said 48 hours. Like, nobody cares about
the
me.
fucking ditch.
Nobody cares. So what would you prefer? Because you're the guy who alone.
Right.
You're the one who could be buried somewhere. So let's set protocols for Karo needs to be checked in with if nobody hears from him at what hour?
As Theo knows, I could never be satisfied. And I'll never be.
24? Is that too long?
I think it's got to be the next full day.
That's what I'm saying.
So like, even if you texted me, you said you're busy. Even if you text me later today and I don't respond, whatever, it's Friday, fine. The next day, I think it's within 24 hours of the first text.
Right. So I'm saying, if I texted you tonight, right? I'm saying, if you leave here and I text you tonight, what are you up to? Don't respond. Next morning, you don't respond. By that night, you want me to go to your house and just get rid of all your porn on your computer? Because you're obviously dead.
Yeah. I think you got to call around. I think I don't know.
It's a good question. That is a good friendship question. Like, how long do you go if you haven't heard from a close friend?
So one topic in communication we've touched on in the pod before, which is very important, introducing.
Mm-hmm.
Introducing people when you're out.
You're the best at this.
I consider myself an over-introducer.
Best in the biz.
I went to a Friendsgiving. This was a couple months ago. And our friends' little kids were running around. And another family came and they had little kids, 10. And I said to the kid, I'm like, do you guys know each other? I was introducing the kids.
Oh my God.
Everyone needs to be introduced.
It's great.
Everyone needs to be introduced.
It's great.
Like, even if you're pretty sure they know each other, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, we know. Like,
it's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yes, I agree. Always over-introduce.
And by the way, I over-introduce myself.
Some people get offended by that.
Wait, which one?
You introducing yourself. They go, I know you. I have a friend who hates when he's like, hey, I'm so-and-so. And he's like, yeah, I know. We've met 10 times. There are a lot of people that get a little like, oh, what, you don't know me? Because they think that means that you don't know them and that you don't remember a previous encounter, which, by the way, it's okay if you don't remember. Some people are very sensitive about that. They're like, I've met this person 7 times and they're introducing themselves to me. I did that recently.
Interesting.
Because I also over-introduced.
Yeah.
I accidentally reintroduced myself to one of my wife's coworkers who doesn't live in LA, I don't think, or they don't even have an office. Like I've seen them once before in my life.
I mean, I guess I just don't see what the harm it
I agree. I think I'm saying that's the only harm. The only harm is that some people who are hypersensitive about feeling seen. Look, everybody wants to feel seen. And so some people take it as a slight when you go, hi, I'm Matt. And they're like, why does this person do this every time I see them?
I mean, I would say I introduce myself more often when it's someone I haven't seen in a very long time.
Right.
And I know who they are.
Yes.
But, just don't want to make
I agree. I always err on that side.
And I think I mentioned this in another episode, but I see the same couple every morning in the gym. And then finally, after 2 years, the other day, I finally introduced myself.
What is the statute of limitations? I was going to ask you that because I have this awesome couple, this gay couple who lives around the corner, loves bird watching like I do. They have one of the best. They have great birding at their house.
Yeah.
And they have this beautiful rose garden.
Yeah.
And I know one of them's name is Paul, but I don't know the other guy's name. And it's been 2 years, and now I need somebody to come on a 6 a.m. walk. I think I need you to come.
Did they know your name?
I think so. We don't do names. I think I need you to come with me on a 6 a.m. walk because it's the only time I run into them.
I think you know what the answer is here, which is just say, I'm so sorry. This is crazy. I know you're Paul.
It's been 2 years.
And
you just did this.
And they were, but we had never met though. So that's a little different. they're going to be like, oh my God, blah, 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 this and that. Or do you ever, can you separate the gay couple and say, hey, Paul, what's your partner's name?
No, they're always together.
He can't
It's always
find
on my morning
no
walk.
social media?
I don't know.
Mutual neighbor friend?
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be tough.
I think.
What's the statute? Is there, so you're saying there's no statute of limitations of just the better move is no matter how long it's been. I like your advice. I think that is the right way to do it. No matter how long it's been.
Yeah.
It's always okay to be like, I'm sorry. We actually never did the name thing. And if we did, I didn't get it.
Yeah. Of course. Hey, I mean, I actually wrote down their names in my phone because,
Smart.
you're going to end up forgetting it. I'm sure they've already forgotten my name.
I'm not sure I agree, by the way. If it's been 2 years, do you really want to admit that you don't know the name? Like Karo
Well,
said?
obviously I haven't done it because I don't want to admit it because I am feeling like, oh God.
But just to be clear, this is, for me, we had never introduced ourselves.
Yeah, yours is cut and dry.
Right.
Matt's is the tricky one.
But I think we only did it one time when I moved in. So it's like, don't you get a grace second time? But I should have done the second time. I should have done the second time much earlier.
Have they ever said your name?
No, I don't think they
There's
know
no
my name.
fucking
Now
way.
I don't think they know my
There's
name.
no way they remember your name.
Yeah.
So, all right, should we take a listener question?
Let's do it.
Asking for a friend.
All right. So, guys, if you have a question, send it in to us at Man of the Year Podcast on Instagram or email us. We're very easy to find. It will be anonymous. We'll summarize it. And so this question, I just, really hits home for us. The guy wrote in that he's always buying the first round when he goes out with his buddy or buddies. And sometimes, people leave, people come. Like, it doesn't really always add up. You usually go round for round or whatever he's saying. And so what is the etiquette there with like buy your friend a drink, they buy you a drink? I mean, I know your etiquette doesn't make any sense at all.
Because I just leave my card.
You just leave your card in the ground.
Because I'm very generous.
But buying rounds, I think, is an interesting topic. Thank you for this question, by the way. How do you handle that?
So obviously, on some level, the first round is the sucker's move.
Because you're guaranteed to at least be paying the most of anyone.
Oh, 100%, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you agree with that?
Yeah, but I mean, mathematically, that's the case.
Like,
yeah.
less people are going to,
Right.
or
People show up.
so people show up. So maybe, there's only 3 of you now, but 8 people are coming. First round's on me, guys.
Right.
Hey.
Yeah.
8 people show up. Who's got the next? I got the last round.
Yeah.
It's kind of clever.
Yeah.
Mm.
If you know it's going to work.
If you know it's going to work.
Because sometimes also like the first person who throws their card down.
the card's open.
the card becomes a thing.
You don't. You have to then you have to do that thing where like, no. This is only open, but only
Right.
for this round. If anybody else orders, ask one of them for their card, and it's like all freaking to do.
I mean, I think the best thing to do is if you come to an existing party and they're at the bar, you just start your own. If someone says, well, I got this, or this round's on me, then you stop. But you always start your own.
I will say this. I think for most people, there's got to be a limit on the number of people that are around because it's like nobody wants to spend $150, especially if you don't like know everybody there. I think if it's like a smaller group, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
Right. If it's you and your 3 or 4 buddies, just get around and make sure not everybody's going to get around that night, but like usually it kind of all adds up. But if it's like you, your friend, and like a bunch of other people you don't know, like you might want to be a little careful. If it's going to make you feel bad that you threw your card down and it didn't get reciprocated, then don't be the guy who's volunteering. Like me, I'm fine. I'm cool. I'll throw mine down.
Theo, what is the Gen Z? Do you still do bar tabs with your buddies? How do you handle it?
Yeah, I mean, right, everything's settled through Venmo now. But the thing is with the bars, sometimes the bar doesn't want to deal with all of it. So they will just throw it down on one card, And
That's more for a meal.
Even for drinks too, though. The bartender's usually like, give me your card. And then you don't want to like put another card.
Yeah,
at
but
the
he
bar.
doesn't know who the other people
Yeah.
are.
I guess that's true.
That's true. I mean, I feel like if I go out, somebody buys the first round, it's like, obviously I'm going to have to buy the next round. But
what if there's only 2 rounds and there's
3
5
people? Yeah.
or even 5 or 6? That's the thing. It's like, then like, oh, you could easily just opt out of that thing. So what's the proper etiquette? Is the real question. The listener was asking, what's the appropriate thing to do?
yeah, that sounds like an issue with his friends. His friends need to step up to the plate, in my opinion, because he's probably trying to get the ball rolling. Maybe everybody's looking at who's going to do. He's like, I'll do it, and then he's doing it every time. It's tricky. I don't know how do you solve that?
Look, the solve is, on some level, it's assumed that you're all going to kind of do rounds. And if you're not doing it, there has to be a good reason not to, right? It can't just be like, oh, well, this guy makes more money, so he should just buy. But sometimes there are friends like that in all friend groups, right? that will do that, and that's fine. But like, don't assume, don't take advantage of people. Offer it up, but also don't be the sucker in that group.
I mean, I have some classic Karo passive aggressive moves. First of all, get the first round, then close out your tab. Or get the first round and just pay cash. So that way you're not on the hook for anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you still got the first round on that, so it didn't really solve the problem.
Yeah. I don't think this is that big of a deal.
Well, if you don't have a ton of money, maybe it is, maybe he's like,
right.
So,
I think that's when it really becomes a problem is you don't have a lot of money, which everybody's been there, right? You don't have a lot of money. And so you weren't even planning on spending the sum total of what one round of drinks is, right? So it's like you were planning on getting 2 beers and you were planning on spending like $14.
Yeah.
And the first round is $68. That's when it's a problem. And so I think if that happens and somebody's like, I'm going to get around, maybe you just be like, well, I was only planning on getting a drink. You might want to just be like, I'm only planning on getting a beer. Cause that kind of telegraphs to everybody. If they don't already know that you don't have a lot of money, that kind of telegraphs to them, like, I'm not in a situation to do this. That's like the nice way of being like, I was only getting a drink. Most people will receive that and they understand what the implication is. Maybe
you just do something where you try to make it like just an even Venmo split instead of like getting the first round. It's like, but it's tricky because certain people drink more than the other.
But I think that's the thing, because I think what I'm saying is once the first person goes, hell, I'm going to get this round. If you communicate like, hey, I was planning on just getting a beer, they're supposed to just be like, okay, totally fine, whatever, don't worry about it. If they're like, who's got the next round, and you feel uncomfortable and you can't afford it, do not buy the next round. Like, don't put yourself in a financial pickle just because you feel like, oh, somebody claimed they were doing rounds. It's not like going to a dinner where it's assumed everybody is obviously splitting the bill if you're having dinner. This is now being like imposed on you. You're not obligated to automatically get the next round.
Right.
But if you're not planning on it, I think you should be like, I'm only here for a minute. I'm only having a drink. Something that basically telegraphs that like, I don't feel comfortable with this scenario.
Or you just show up early, get a drink, then you already have your drink. Everyone comes out, oh, I'm good.
Ooh, I already have mine.
Yeah, got mine.
I'm over here.
Yeah.
You guys are over there.
Yeah.
In that stupid circle of credit cards flying. I'm over here with my $6.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Solved it.
Asking for a friend.
So we took a little adventure recently, Matt, which reminds me of this issue because there was a lot of credit card and tab hijinks.
Woo, hijinks is an understatement.
We just got back from the Sundance Film Festival. It was a great time. And then do you want to talk about what happened when we were posted up at this place called No Name Saloon, which is like the biggest bar in Sundance?
The epitome of our roles and our friendship.
Oh, yeah. Well, first talk about their system and how.
So they have a system. I don't know if you've been to a bar where you give your card and then they automatically swipe it and they give it back to you so they can close it out without you actually having to sign out. Now, this is generally good because like if you forget your card like I do frequently, that solves that problem.
Right.
Which is great.
Right.
Now, Karo happens to be a friend of utility. He's not comfortable with somebody just leaving the bar without signing out. So we want to tell him what happened right there?
So we're at this bar in the middle of Sundance, and all of a sudden the bartender goes, this guy just bought everyone tequila shots. And it was like, woo! So there's some guy.
Bell is ringing.
Yeah, they're ringing the bell.
Literally, I'm not joking, 100 shots. He ordered 100 shots for the bar. I know this because we were trying to close out, which was like a $40
Hold on
tab.
a second. So first of all, what do you think about the guy who buys the bar shots?
It's
Loser.
I mean, it's just what's
Get over yourself.
What's the point? I mean,
here's my two problems. One, the bar literally shut down.
I know.
No one could get anything else because every waitress was pouring shots for everybody. Second, understandably, he got a chance to make a toast, so they actually turned the volume down on the music.
Yes.
Great. Got up, and it was just an absolute loser.
it wasn't a great toast.
He was like, hey guys,
it wasn't.
do you think he's going to listen to this podcast somehow? Because probably was a rich guy.
It wasn't a great toast.
So since the bar got gummed up by this dumbass toast and the fucking everything getting, God, it really can't be pleased.
I couldn't close my tab.
And we wanted to leave and go to the next party, and he couldn't close. We're trying to go.
So I go. I'm going. I'm just going.
I'm gonna go. And I'm like, no, Matt, let's just like close it out. He's like, no, it's already run. It's fine. He's like, just close it. Fine. So we wait another few minutes, and Matt is now itching, and he's sort of like gets, I don't want to say he gets mad at me, but he knows like I'm helping him, Daddy Karo, but he's just like, come on, Karo,
like,
let me go.
Alone. Let me
go.
be me. Let me not look at the bill. Let me just leave this bar in Sundance.
So he gets the bill, and he's just, I can't even describe it. He's not looking at it. He wants to leave so fast that he's signing it, like, because he's having a conversation with 6 people. He's signing his scribble thing, and he closes the book. I reopen the book.
He reopens my tab.
And the 100 shots were charged to his tab by accident.
$1,856 on my tab. And I was like, whoa. And so for a moment there, I thought the guy had conned me. Because when he had ordered the shots, he waved to everybody in the bar. When he waved to me, I did like a thumbs up. So I thought it was like a Dumb and Dumber scene where he goes, if that guy's Seabass right there, then he's got my tab. And I was like, holy shit, did I get Seabass? So the crazy thing is, so I go up to the waiter. I'm like, whoa, that was not me. And he takes it off the tab. But the crazy thing is that if you didn't do that, I'm never getting that money back.
Yeah, because how do you...
Because imagine me calling Chase, knowing what they know about my habits.
Yeah.
They'd be like, no, that was you.
Yeah.
Oh, you were drunk in Sundance and you didn't order 100 shots?
Because they have like, I don't know, what's the word? Like an algorithm. Like...
But I signed it. So that was the other thing. I signed it.
Yeah.
I had already signed it.
You signed it.
You saved me.
Do you think Mumble Toast, when he got his tab and there was nothing on it, would have just been like, oh, it was free? You think he would have said something? Mumble Toast?
I would like to think that he would have said something, but I doubt it. I think he would have just been like, great.
Or even if he did, he'd be like, hey, how come you didn't charge me? And he goes,
I don't think anyone would have said anything. I think they would have been like, well, somebody ate it. So it's good.
Yeah. Wow.
So I do want to say something. This happened too this week. I just want to give a message to our audience.
Yeah.
So I had a friend tell me it was his birthday as a kind of afterthought. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm not a big birthday guy. And we've talked about this, but you know, I want to say to our audience, you don't have to throw a huge birthday party, but I feel that when I hear somebody say, I'm not a birthday person, it's coming from some sort of wound and they don't feel they deserve a birthday party. And so I know that, I understand that, I relate to that. So I just want to say to our audience, like, we're doing this pod because we want you to feel like you deserve a birthday party. You deserve a party if you got promoted or if you got laid off. You deserve a girls trip to Ojai or Vegas. You deserve a weekend away from your kids with your best friend. You deserve gifts. You deserve cards. You deserve well wishes. You deserve friendship. That's all I want to say.
Well said. So did you throw him a birthday party?
No.
I mean, we can only do so much.
No, I know. This was a cute thing that happened.
Okay.
My friend who listens to the pod, his daughter wrote us a friendship poem.
Does the daughter listen to the pod? How old is the daughter?
You know what? I didn't ask him if the daughter now has to listen to the pod if we're going to do this.
Have you met the daughter?
Yes. She's like 11.
See, you're going to be.
No, she's 9. I forget how
See,
old.
I don't know how old children are, but you're going to, like, my mom could look at a picture of me and be like, you're 6. It's unbelievable.
She's in the Girl Scouts.
That means nothing.
Yeah. I think she's somewhere between 8 and 11.
Okay.
I want to say.
The window's getting larger.
Yeah. So she wrote us her name's Kylie.
Okay.
And she wrote us a friendship poem. It's called Friendship. A little bit on the nose, Kylie. Okay. Friendship is the thing to have. Sometimes there's no need to be mad. Being kind is the thing to be. It is always the key. Have a buddy to hang out with. They will always give you a lift. You can always trust someone and in the process, have some fun. Friendship will make you stronger. The end.
Oh, thank you, Kylie. If your kid has written a friendship poem, keep it to yourself.
No. We'll read one a year.
Yeah, we'll do one a year. So what did we learn today?
Oh my God. So I think we learned voice
memo.
Keep them
tight.
What else?
We learned that be wary when you're reaching out to shoot the breeze to a friend. What are they doing? Did they want to? Is your breeze shoot reciprocal? Consensual?
Maybe try this 8-minute method.
Oh, the 8-minute phone call with the heart out.
Right. Maybe try the 8-minute method. I would like to hear from our listeners what their method is, what their time frames are for calls. What did we learn? What's the statute of limitations on reintroducing yourself?
There is none.
There is none. And should you overintroduce? We lean towards yes.
there's no harm in over-introducing with someone. Well, that's our show. Guys, find us on Instagram and TikTok at Man of the Year Podcast. Be good to yourself. Be good to your friends.
Love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.